Hello friends, we are here once again to discuss neuro-linguistic programming. In the previous lecture of mine, I discussed the very definition of neuro-linguistic programming, rather aptest definition of neuro-linguistic programming with a scope, of course, because why there is need to discuss neuro-linguistic programming in the present situation, in the present scenario, especially for the professionals, the young students, and why, how, what kind of scopes are there, how many, opportunities. So I discussed all in detail in my previous lecture. Today I'm going to discuss communicating model, because there is a channel, the step by step in neuro-linguistic programming to get the effect more effectively. So what is this model? What is about this? But before moving, once again I'll just discuss in a very few minutes that why there is need to learn neuro-linguistic programming, just to control the state of mind, develop powerfully the persuasive communication, overcome obstacles in business and personal life, help others to get the result they want, more of experience if you want to gather, and more of success, happiness, joy. That is to say that complete success in life. So let us discuss the methodology and model of neuro-linguistic programming. As here we are just looking at that the attitude of learning, curiosity and experimentation. It is a state of mind, because you will learn something if you feel to learn, you need to learn, you think that this is the need of the hour, only then you can learn something. It is a purely a state of mind. Methodology, using modeling to discover excellence and using that to develop yourself and to other, it is called model. Because if it is in a systematic manner, in a very cohesive manner, in an organized manner, the learning will be more effective. And what are the techniques for modeling how the excellence is constructed and enabling others to take it on? I told you that NLP is a kind of discovery yourself. Discovery yourself surrounded by resources, even the potential within you. So how to exploit your potential and how to exploit the other resources, that is very important, and it all comes in modeling and technique. So often called a psychology of excellence. It is your excellence, it is your curiosity, it is your art to learn. Modeling is discovering and taking on the belief, values, behaviors and mental sequencing found in people who are outstanding in their field and utilizing these in others. Yes, without curiosity, nothing is possible. So how to train your potential, that is excellence. So this is model, and today we are going to discuss model. So what is NLP modeling? I told you that various stages to learn things, to train yourself. So one of the most profound ideas of neuro-linguistic is that if one person can do something, it should be possible to find out what they are doing and replicate it. That is to say that if you are doing something that should be copied by other, that should be learned by other. So neuro-linguistic programming modeling is a unique approach for identifying and replicating the unconscious skills of excellent performer. For example, we listen to a very fine orator. Every day we listen. Slowly, gradually, we imbibed a lot from that listener, and that is there in our mind. So when we start speaking to somewhere, to somebody, in some causes that kind of quality, guide us, teach us and give a kind of light to us. So it is a kind of, identifying the quality that is within you, following others. Now a model of NLP, what is there in your mind? where am I? Where am I? What have I got? Where am I? Suppose today I am a teacher. What have I done throughout the years, previous years? What are my qualifications? What is the quality within myself? So, where am I? This is a very pertinent question. Where am I and what have I got? Because you see, neuro-linguistic programming is completely a mental training. If you have satisfaction, contentment, naturally you will move smoothly ahead. If not, if you regret all the time, maybe you fail in your life. So present state and the desired state. Present state, I am here, and the desired state may be that I have some other desire. And how do I get them to here to get the desired state? That I need to make a plan. So NLP can be described as the process required to take you from a present state to a desired state. Young students, they have dreams, aspirations to become IITians, IIS, medical students, and if they get failure in their life, everything gets shattered. But this is not the way. Here, NLP is going to help. How to develop faith in oneself, that is very important. And how to develop faith, that needs to go through your own self. A very serious kind of introspection, that what I am today, I'm satisfied, it's okay. I'm not satisfied, that what should be done in this regard. Where have I got? What have I got? This is also a very pertinent question. Where would I rather be? What would I rather have? I would have been like this. I would have been like that. Well, this is just a kind of, hypothetical assumption, images that I should be like that. So, how to go from the present state to the desired state, NLP certainly describes in a very fruitful manner if the mind is very curious and ready to learn. So, the individual does not understand or know how to do something and does not necessarily recognize the deficit. It is very common thing that what you actually want, do you know that? Are you happy with your present study? Are you happy with your present profession? And maximum of the young students and the young men, they fail because they couldn't realize their desired goal. So, they may deny the usefulness of the skill. The individual must recognize their own incompetence and the value of the new skill before moving on to the next stage. So, it is very important. What kind of lacuna is there, flaw is there? If you get it after your discovery, self-discovery, and try to repair it, certainly you will get success in your life. So, the length of time an individual spends in this stage depends on the strength of the stimulus to learn. So, the previous one, so the present state. I think that I am very weak. I can't face the challenges of life. Why? Why? And if I exercise and practice for moving further to the desired state, well, this will certainly help me and this will give me a kind of strength. So, unconscious incompetence, unconscious competence, two types of unconscious incompetence, you are not aware, unconscious competence, you are not aware even for your competence. Conscious incompetence and conscious competence, and you are aware of both incompetence and competence. So, conscious incompetence, though the individual does not understand or know how to do something, he or she does recognize the deficit as well as the value of a new skill in addressing the deficit. The making of mistakes can be integral to the learning process at this stage. So, conscious incompetence is important to get the desired goal. Similarly, conscious competence, that the individual understands or knows how to do something, that is conscious competence. However, demonstrating the skill or knowledge requires concentration. It may be broken down into steps, and there is heavy conscious involvement in executing the new skill. So, you see the conscious incompetence as well as the competence, where a person is very much aware of his or her potential or lacuna. Now, unconscious competence, the individual has had so much practice with a skill that it has become second nature and can be performed easily. That is unconscious competence. You see, if I speak every day 1 hour, I mean maybe every day means 30 days, 31st days I have no problem, and it is a kind of routine matter. As a result, the skill can be performed while executing another task. The individual may be able to teach it to others depending upon how and when it was learned. That is unconscious competence. Very important, it has become the second nature, means that is very much there in your cognitive mind. So, development of NLP, we discuss it, but in 1970 it is Grinder and Bandler, they developed it, developed meta model and Milton model based on the study of Virginia Satir, therapist, and Milton H. Erickson, father of hypnotherapy. Study people who were known for excellence in their field. What is the criteria? What are the qualities? And from this they identified how to model excellence and transcribe it to another. So, it is very important to know the modeling of NLP. I mean every individual, I mean they are different from each other, individual variations are there. But what is the reason for variations? If the excellent person is there, what are the qualities built in them? Now, the basic principle behind the meta model, which is a very successful model, is Kozibaski's notion that the map is not the territory. I discussed in the previous lecture of mine that the two assumptions, two fundamentals on which the NLP is based, that map is not the territory, means before the beyond the reality something more is there. So, that is the model we make of the world around us, with our brains and our language are not the world itself but representation of it. That is to say that we can make so many things, so many images based on the reality, based on the assumptions we have. The Milton model, so named after Milton Erickson, is related to NLP meta model. It was based specifically on Bandler and Grinder, modeling of Erickson hypnotic language with clients. Hypnosis, which is a very successful model of NLP. So, the Milton model is a mirror image of the meta model, whilst the meta model chunks down to specifies the Milton model chunks up to produce vagueness and ambiguities. So, there is not much difference between Milton model and the meta model. Meta model is based on the hypnotic exercise of Milton model. Now, this is the communication model: filter, then delete, then distort and generalize, then time space, matter energy, language, memories, decision, meta program, values, and then attitude, and it goes like this, that internal and then state, psychology, behavior, results. So, internal representation, what is internal representation? We have already set of signs in our mind, color, picture, name, place, and as per the required of the situation, we take use of that. So, internal representation picture, that is of sound, smell, taste, and then filters. So, not necessary when we are in a particular situation that we use all those that already there in our mind. As per the need of the hour and the desired situation, we use that. So, what is required? Then filter. What are the filters? Deletion. And what is deletion? To delete that is not required. Undesirable, unwanted thing. It occurs when we selectively pay attention to certain aspects of our experience and not others. Certain aspect of experience and not others means you are going to choose something very specific. Distortion, that is the divergence. When we make shifts in our experience of sensory data by making misrepresentations of reality, imagination, means we are just concentrating on what we really desire. Generalization, as the name is, where one draws global conclusion based on one or two experiences. Broad conclusions led to disempowering our belief. Broad conclusions. I mean, generalization is not very helpful because we are not going to get a very fruitful result from this. So, generalization lead to disempowering our beliefs. Values are deep, unconscious belief system about what is important and what is good or bad to us. Belief are generalizations about how the world is. Beliefs are the presuppositions that we have about the way the world is and either empower or disempower us. And language is the expression. So, this is all the communicating model. And the internal representation of your mind is very important, and your alertness that how to make a very systematic representation of your consciousness and language, that depends on your excellence. And these are the steps through which you move on. So, meta-programming, these are the filters which determine that what we do and don't pay attention to. Very important. We are in the examination writing for the paper. We never pay attention here and there. And if somebody does this, he or she fails. Similarly, when we prepare for the examination, there are several distortions and distractions, but we concentrate on the textbook. So, it is very important that what we do and don't do. Meta programs are like a series of windows through which we operate in life. Series of windows, yes, I mean, see the various stages, various steps through which, like the time and space, like the matter energy, like language, memories, decision, meta program, value and attitude. Your personality, your entire presentation is not something the product of one day or 10 days. It takes years and years, hours and hours to make you a perfect one, whether it is the communication or any other aspects. So, certain important points are there when we talk of meta model or hypnotic strategy. Know what you want. That is very important. Outcome and direction. Know what you really want. One of the key NLP question is, what do you want? What is your requirement? The human nervous system can be thought of as goal seeking, and you tend to get what you focus on. Well-formed outcomes are an important tool for ensuring that you get more of what you want in your life. Right? If you fix up your goal, well advanced, I mean, at your school days, or maybe, I mean, ahead, it will be very easy to complete your journey. So, what you really want, an outcome, that is going to help you. That is to say that you will be not confused in your life. Your personality has certain directions through which you will move on. Get the attention of the consciousness mind, that is rapport. What your mind is telling you and what actually you are getting signals from your mind, you must aware of. So the map is not the territory. You must start where the person you wish to influence, the present state. And rapport is the process of getting the attention and trust of unconscious mind. So suppose you are talking to your client, how to convince? So you start with the present state. What do you really want? You try to read the mind of the person and you hit where he is weak. There you try to convince, and this is the kind of rapport you are going to establish. Know whether you are getting what you want. Sensory acuity. Once you know where you want to go, you need to be able to notice whether or not you are going there. Sensory acuity refers to the ability to notice the signs that you are moving in the right direction. So you need to be able to notice whether or not you are going in the right direction. And it is your alertness, whether it is your eyes, your mental signals, your ear, and everything, your consciousness, and adjust what you are doing accordingly. That is very important as the part of this modeling. Flexibility. Rigidity is not going to help you. Be broad-minded, give a space to your thought and give a space to other also. So insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So when you notice that you are not getting what you want, you need the flexibility to change what you are doing in order to get a different result. I mean, this happens often, that a student who is not very good in engineering but being suppressed by the parents to join it, and after joining not doing well. He is good in literature. So when he finds that he can write poems, he can read literature and he is doing well, why not? The flexibility can push him towards success. That's it. That is flexibility, to adjust your mind as we adjust the tune. So intelligence is the ability to have a fixed goal and be flexibility about how you achieve it. If you are having some problem in this direction, you go by that direction. But the destination is same. What is the destination? That is success. And it is the flexibility that will give you a very successful kind of walk up to that. So frame ways of thinking. Most of the time I say that it is the frame of mind that gives you how to think. You make the frame and under that you start thinking. So in all situations you have a choice about how you respond. You can make excuses and blame others, so that any possible solutions will need to be the responsibility of other people. This response will mean that you are powerless. Very, very important point. If you have guts, if you have power, if you have a strength, if something is going to fail, you can take responsibility. Yes, it is because of me and I am ready to face the consequences. But a weak person, a powerless person generally put blame to other just to shed off all kind of problem. Alternatively, you can take responsibility to respond to the situation in the most resourceful way you can, and so empower yourself and allow yourself to be the part of the solution. You have choice about how you respond to every event in your life. Yes, there should be choice. Otherwise, if you have only one way, blame or fight or very truthfulness or dedication, I mean, one way you cannot achieve the goal. So you have to make a perfect frame of mind to get out of this. So model or meta model is very important in neuro-linguistic programming to fix up the target that you have to go up to that point, and to transform your personality in terms of everything, in terms of your speech, in terms of your thinking, in terms of so many things that lead towards success. So, I am going to discuss cause and effect later on, but these are, result versus excuses, perception is projection, perception, that is very important. If I look at the table, it is table. Maybe if you look into it is a huge table, there is a space inside it, you can sit inside the space, it is all perception. So, perception is the projection of your personality. And this perception and this projection of the perception may lead to the desired goal. And that is why flexibility is very important in any model. If you are looking at something with a very rigid or biased, view or attitude, you may commit some kind of, mistake. So, make your mind broad, responsibility for result. Take responsibility for result. Responsible are you in your life, you ask. Be at cause for empowerment and for changing behavior. Yes, in any meta model or hypnotic, you are totally controlled by a particular thing. So, you think, you work upon, and then you realize where is the lacuna. So, mind-body connection, very important mind-body connection. Your mind is saying something else and your body is saying something else. There is no connection. How to achieve the desired goal? So, the mind that is having the nervous system and controlling the entire body. So, you have to make that connection very powerful to get the desired goal. So, it is the meta model and the modeling that is going to lead you, this particular aspect, the communicating model, that is going to lead you to the point of neuro-linguistic programming. And as I said that the meta model given by Milton and the other is very successful in modeling, like the basic principle behind the meta model, the map is not the territory, is the most accepted and successful modeling till this date. Map is not the territory. I explained earlier also that when we talk of flexibility, there should be some more space, some more corner to explore things. Because learning or knowing about neuro-linguistic programming is what is important. Your excellence, your curiosity. If your mind is not curious, how would you able to know? Traveling is the hobby of somebody. Now, why this hobby is there in that person case, moving on and on and on, knowing various places, exploring various places and various things. And this is because of the hobby that the concerned person came to know or comes to know about that particular area or thing. So, as the map is not the territory, that is the most successful novel model while learning meta model or modeling of neuro-linguistic programming. So, modeling is important because there should be a system. The learning process should have a kind of systematic approach. So, neuro-linguistic programming is a very systematic approach towards the problem of your life or towards achieving your goal. That is why such kind of model. So, the setup in your mind, I shown you this diagram that various stages are there, filters, delete, dissort. You should know that what should be deleted, what should be filtered and what should be kept, what should be the time space. Everything is important in life while discussing of modeling and while discussing of a strategy in neuro-linguistic programming. That is why these different stages, values, beliefs. I mean, in the previous lecture of mine, I told you that belief is also very important. Though it is generalization, but certain ideology you have, and if you find your ideology, you know, associated with somebody or something, you can achieve your goal very easily. Ideology means not compromising with the ideology. That is again not a very healthy aspect of neuro-linguistic programming, as flexibility is very important. So, while discussing meta programming or meta modeling, I need to say that there are filters which determine what we do and don't pay attention. In any act, any professional act or any serious act, what we require that we should be careful of our act or action, and meta programming is like a series where we have to move one step, other step and other step to achieve our desired goal. Thank you very much. The next lecture would be about cause and effect.